I'm Philosopher Dave. This is the roadmap to Tarkov development. The idea behind this series is to provide information about the features that will be coming out with this game, when to expect them, and what the Battlestate Games staff has said about those features. I'm going to start today with 12.7. It should only take a few minutes to get through each of these pieces from 12.7, 12.8, 12.9, and 13.0 because those are the only pieces that have actually been cited recently. This information comes from podcasts, interviews, and other sources directly with Battlestate Games staff. Let's start with customs, the map that really is near and dear to my heart after spending countless hours playing it on my first days of Tarkov and every single wipe thereafter. This change, the additions to customs as well as some of their reworks have been expected for a long time. Battlestate Games has not really made a big point to hide those changes, has been showing it off with social media content. The biggest things that have come up recently are from a podcast from Nikita on July 3rd, where he talked about stationary guns and automatic grenade launcher systems. He said that there will be at least one of those on the map. The idea is to have a path open up from old gas station all the way through the construction site. There are also supposed to be reworks to other areas of customs potentially to match this new dynamic. Some other changes that we're expecting with 12.7, we're expecting new gun modifications. It's unclear exactly which ones we'll be getting, but Nikita said on July 3rd that we should be expecting them. Flashlights will also blind again during the same podcast was mentioned. Ammo updates will occur, including additions of the 7.21 9x19 millimeter. A really exciting change will be the Scab boss Sanitar. That is the Shoreline Scab boss, which will have a fleet of injectors that you'll find on their body. One piece that is unclear if it's coming in 12.7 or not, but was suggested to be released around the same time, is Scab boss unique voice lines. Nikita mentioned in a July 3rd podcast that he was working on those, as well as a podcast containing multiple streamers, including Pastilli and Deadly Slob. In late April, early May, there were several items that were mentioned by Nikita during a series of podcast interviews. Since then, I have not seen any updates during any sort of formal announcement from Battlestate Games about these. But at this point, I believe that these might appear in the patch notes. The first is a compass, being able to actually track where you are and be able to look at your actual cardinal directions. A skill system rework, with changes to multiple skills that have been frustrating for the community for a long time now. The dynamic distribution of loot, that was described as being able to change the spawn points of high tier loot and change the amount of loot that was spawning on different pieces of the map so that players were more likely to explore each of the pieces as they were going through. Also old was the addition of the USP. That would have come along with some of the 45 caliber changes that were described earlier in 12.6. We are expecting patch notes to be released this week of the exact changes that will be happening in 12.7. Nikita said that there would be about one big patch, so going from 12.6 to 12.7 or 12.7 to 12.8 every month. And so as we look to the future, we're looking at 12.8 right now. And with that, Nikita has mentioned several times that Unity 2019 will be implemented into the game. Other additions that might occur are weapons being added, such as the Chris Vector. That was described on July 3rd by Nikita during a Russian podcast. Additionally, with 12.9, which we would expect sometime in September, has been described as having chest rig and plate carrier customization back in May. Additionally, we're looking at a wipe in 12.9 or 13.0, which was described as early as just a few days ago by Nikita. Lastly, with 13.0, we're expecting Streets of Tarkov. That's the big map that Nikita and Battlestate Games has been publishing on their different social media channels. And the idea behind it being at 13.0 was a interview done with Nikita where he described that no matter what, it will be done before 13.0 was released.